There have been great development that go in the direction of linking both research and policy, where Africans are sitting at the table. It can sit at the table to improve the processes of multilateral institutions such as the World Bank or the IMF. My name is Abdoulaye Ndiaye. I am an assistant professor of economics at NYU. At Jeune, I teach macroeconomics and public finance and topics around development, especially in the context of Africa. I have both research that looks at broadly macroeconomics around the whole world, as well as research that is directly suited to the African context. I have researched how to design unemployment insurance in labor markets where there is a lot of informality. I am conducting research on how to think of fiscal capacity in a macroeconomic sense. How can governments harness their capabilities to raise more domestic revenue? I have also contributed to applied research on thinking of sovereign debt issues in Africa, with the specific context of Senegal as an example, to understand what are the challenges related to sovereign debt issues and how to resolve them in the medium and long term in Africa. In my work with Martin Kessler, we laid out what are the different options available for governments in a similar situation as the case of Senegal, how to deal with this sovereign debt crisis. And this has sparked a civil conversation between all citizens and created the environment so that this is also a topic that is now discussed in Parliament, and where citizens can ask their representatives and their government accountable. My research has an impact in how it is published in top research reviews, so it can influence down the line policy. My research on Africa in particular have had impact, and I hope will have more impact in shaping the discussions around sovereign debt issues in Senegal. Our work in progress is on the historical determinants of long-run fiscal capacity in Africa, and we have had many consultations on this research, and we hope it will contribute further to understanding how institutions are built and improved in Africa. African economists are in different places in academia, both in Africa, they're also in Europe, as well as in the US. In macroeconomics, which is my closest field, unfortunately still remains to have more economists, African economists. Nonetheless, this is a very important topic, as whenever there are, even in the field of development, research that think of how an intervention can improve outcomes, it's really important to think of, when we scale these interventions, what would be the implication for them. And macroeconomics is a well-suited tool to also contribute to development. Africans have an important role to play here. Curiosity is in limited supply. The way we think of economics in Africa is just and development is just thinking of economics across space in a different environment and across time. The historical dimension also matters. And Africans have an important role to play in this discourse, both for strictly academic purposes, but as well as to influence policy. And there have been great development that go in the direction of linking both research and policy, where Africans are sitting at the table. It can sit at the table to improve the processes of multilateral institutions such as the World Bank or the IMF, and also give rigorous advice to their government and to the private sector.